Keira Knightley, OB, is a British actress. She has been nominated for 2 British Academy Film Awards, 3 Golden Globe Awards, and 2 Academy Awards.
Knightley began acting as a child on television and made her feature film debut in 1995 before making her breakthrough with the 2002 film Bended Like Beckham. She then starred in the 2003 fantasy swashbuckler film Pirates of the Caribbean, playing Elizabeth Swann, a role that she would reprise in the subsequent films of the franchise. A significant turning point came in her career when Knightley received a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress for starring as Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice. She became known for starring in several other period dramas, including Atonement, The Duchess, A Dangerous Method, Anna Karenina, and Colette. Knightley received her second nomination for the Academy Award for portraying Joan Clark in the historical drama The Imitation Game. Her contemporary film roles were in the romantic comedy Begin Again, the action thriller Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, and the adventure film Everest.
On stage, Knightley has appeared on the West End in Martin Crimp's 2009 production of The Misanthrope, which earned her a nomination for a Laurence Olivier Award. She also starred as the eponymous heroine in the 2015 Broadway production of Therese Raquin. She was appointed Officer of the Order of the British Empire in the 2018 Birthday Honours for services to drama and charity.
Keira Knightley was born on 26 March 1985 in Teddington, London, to theatre actors Sharman MacDonald and Will Knightley. Her mother is of Scottish and Welsh descent, while her father is English. She was meant to be named Keira, the anglicised form of Keira, after Keira Ivanova, whom her father admired. However, MacDonald misspelled the name when she went to register her daughter, writing the E before the I. Knightley has an elder brother, Caleb. MacDonald also worked as a playwright after her career as an actress came to an end. She introduced her children to theatre and ballet at an early age. This furthered Knightley's interest in acting, and she requested an agent at the age of 3.
Knightley attended Teddington School. At the age of 6, she was diagnosed with dyslexia, but by the time she was 11, with her parents' support, Knightley said, "They deemed me to have got over it sufficiently." She is still a slow reader and cannot read out loud. Knightley said she was single-minded about acting during her childhood. At the age of 3, she expressed a desire for an agent like her parents and got one at age 6. This led to her taking a number of small parts in TV dramas throughout her childhood. While growing up, Knightley performed in a number of local amateur productions, which included After Juliet, written by her mother, and United States, written by her drama teacher. She focused on art, history, and English literature while studying at the Esher College, but left after a year to pursue an acting career.
After getting an agent at the age of 6, Knightley began working in commercials and small television roles. Her first on-screen appearance was in the 1993 Screen 1 television episode titled Royal Celebration. She then played Natasha Jordan, a young girl whose mother is involved in an extramarital affair, in the romantic drama A Village Affair. After appearing in a spate of television films through the mid to late 1990s, including Innocent Lies, The Treasure Seekers, Coming Home, and Oliver Twist, Knightley landed the role of Sabe, Padmé Amidala's handmaiden and decoy, in the 1999 science fiction blockbuster Star Wars Episode I: The Phantom Menace. Her dialogue was dubbed over by Natalie Portman, who played Padme. Knightley was cast in the role because of her close resemblance to Portman. Even the two actors' mothers had difficulty telling their daughters apart when they were in full makeup.
In her first major role, the 2001 Walt Disney Productions feature film Princess of Thieves, Knightley played the daughter of Robin Hood. To prepare for the film, she trained for several weeks in archery, fencing, and horse riding. Concurrently, she appeared in The Hole, a thriller that received a direct-to-video release in the United States. The film's director Nick Hamm described her as a young version of Julie Christie. Knightley also took on the role of Lara Antipova in the miniseries adaptation of Dr. Zhivago, which first aired in 2002, to positive reviews and high ratings. In the same year, Knightley starred as a pregnant drug addict in Gillies MacKinnon's drama film Pure. Co-starring Molly Parker and Harry Eden, the film had its world premiere at the 2002 Toronto International Film Festival. In a retrospect review for AboutFilm.com, Carlo Cavagna noted Knightley's screen presence and wrote that doesn't have half of Parker's ability. She has spunk and grit, shines brightly and pure.
Despite having appeared in over a dozen film and television roles, Knightley struggled to get a breakthrough. That changed in 2002 when she starred in Gurinder Chadha's sports comedy film Bended Like Beckham, which was a smash hit both in the UK and in the United States, grossing over $76.6 million. It also surprised film critics who were laudatory of its charming and inspiring nature, social context and the cast's performances. Knightley and her co-star Parminder Nagra, who played the central roles of aspiring footballers, attracted international attention for their performances in the film. To prepare for their roles, they underwent 3 months of extensive football training under the English football coach Simon Clifford. Knightley, who was initially skeptical of the project, went on to win the London Film Critics Circle for Best Newcomer and the Online Film Critics Society Award for Best Breakthrough Performance. In an interview with Tracy Smith she said, "I remember telling friends I was doing this girls' soccer movie, and nobody thought that it was gonna be any good." Film critic James Berardinelli, who was largely laudatory of the film and the energetic and likable cast, noted that Knightley and Nagra brought a lot of spirit to their instantly likable characters.
Following the success of Bend It Like Beckham, Knightley landed the role of Elizabeth Swann in the 2003 American fantasy swashbuckler film Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. The film, which was based on the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction at Disney theme parks, saw Knightley, Orlando Bloom, and Johnny Depp play the roles of 18th-century pirates. Despite boasting the names of Hollywood stars like Depp and Bloom and a hefty $135 million budget, Pirates was not the most anticipated release of the year and was expected to fail at the box office. Knightley herself was not optimistic about its prospects. "I remember being on set just sort of going, okay, what is this? Is this any good?" However, contrary to the expectations, the film opened at #1 on the box office and went to become one of the highest-grossing productions of the year, with the worldwide collections of $654 million.
Knightley appeared in the $247 million grossing British romantic comedy Love Actually, which featured an ensemble cast, including her childhood idol Emma Thompson. The film opened in November 2003 to positive critical feedback. Knightley's sole release of 2004 was the historical film King Arthur, where she played Guinevere, a warrior queen and the wife of the titular character. A role that required her to learn boxing, archery, and horse riding. Although the film garnered unfavorable reviews, Knightley's stature as a performer grew. She was voted by the readers of Hello magazine as the industry's most promising teen star and featured in Time magazine's article, which stated that she seemed dedicated to develop herself as a serious actor rather than a film star.
Knightley appeared in 3 films in 2005, the first of which was the psychological thriller The Jacket, co-starring Adrian Brody. In a mixed review for Empire, Kim Newman wrote that the role was unlike the ones she had previously taken up. Getting out of period gear and talking American, tries to broaden her range and is arguably well cast. Knightley next played the titular character in Tony Scott's French-American action film Domino, based on the life of Domino Harvey. The film's release was delayed on multiple occasions, and upon its eventual release in November, it garnered negative reviews and performed poorly at the box office.
Knightley's most successful release of the year was Pride and Prejudice, a period drama based on Jane Austen's novel of the same name. Knightley, who admired the book from a young age, said of her character, "The beauty of Elizabeth is that every woman who ever reads the book seems to recognize herself, with all her faults and imperfections." Upon release, the film became a huge commercial success, with total collections of around US $120 million worldwide, and garnered positive reviews from critics. Derek Kelly of Variety wrote highly of her performance and screen presence. Looking every bit a star, Knightley, who's shown more spirit than acting smart so far in her career, really steps up to the plate here. He regarded her luminous strength to be reminiscent of a young Audrey Hepburn. Knightley earned Best Actress nominations at the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards for her performance, becoming the third youngest nominee for the latter. BAFTA's failure to provide her with a nomination drew criticism from the film's producer Tim Bevan.
Knightley was invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, among other artists in 2006. Later that year, she reprised her role as Elizabeth Swann in the second and third productions of the Pirates of the Caribbean series. The 2 sequels were conceived in 2004, with the writers Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio developing a story arc that would span both films. Filming for the projects took place in 2005, The Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Man's Chest, released in July 2006. With the worldwide collections of $1.066 billion, it became the biggest financial hit in Knightley's career. The third installment in the series, Pirates of the Caribbean, At World's End, was released in May the following year.
Knightley's continued association with period dramas yielded varying results, as seen with two of her 2007 releases, François Girard's Silk and Joe Wright's Atonement, the feature film adaptations of the novels by Alessandro Baricco and Ian McEwan respectively. While the former project failed at the box office, the latter became a critical and commercial success. Knightley garnered widespread acclaim and such accolades as the BAFTA and a nomination for the Golden Globes for her portrayal of Cecilia Tallis, the elder of the two Tallis sisters. In preparing for the film, where she was seen opposite James McAvoy, she studied the naturalism of the performances seen in the films from 1930s and 1940s, such as In Which We Serve and Brief Encounter. Critic Richard Roper, who thought the lead duo were superb in their respective roles, was puzzled by their failure to garner Academy Award nominations.
Knightley appeared alongside Sienna Miller, Cillian Murphy, and Matthew Rhys in John Mayberry's 2008 wartime drama The Edge of Love. The film had her play the role of Vera Phillips, a childhood friend of Welsh poet Dylan Thomas and his wife Caitlin McNamara. Sharman MacDonald wrote the screenplay with Knightley as McNamara in her mind. After Knightley was signed to portray Phillips, the character's role was increased with the film focusing on her romance and marriage with a British soldier. She based her performance on Marlene Dietrich and was to mime to her pre-recorded voice prior to being told by Mayberry to sing live. Knightley initially felt embarrassed while singing live. I was shaking like a leaf, but eventually went through with the plan. Upon release, the film became a moderate critical and commercial success. Knightley's performance and singing abilities were praised by such film critics as Ray Bennett, who wrote, "The film belongs to the women," with Knightley going from strength to strength.
Knightley then starred as the 18th-century English aristocrat Georgiana Cavendish, Duchess of Devonshire in Saul Dibb's widely praised period drama The Duchess, based on the best-selling biographical novel Georgiana, Duchess of Devonshire by Amanda Foreman. Although multiple media reports suggested that the use of parallels between the central character's life to that of Diana, Princess of Wales, was being used as a marketing strategy for the project, Knightley denied any such connection. Gabrielle Tana, the film's producer, said the film was repeatedly delayed as they could not find the right actor for the role. She added that with Knightley, it all happened very, very quickly. Tana also said Knightley added a broad and instinctive understanding of such aspects of Georgiana's life as the celebrity issue and being thrust into the spotlight, as she had herself experienced the same. Response to her performance was positive. Lydia Look of the Epoch Times praised her range in the film, writing, "She not only perfectly portrays a witty and feminine Georgiana, but also a caring mother and an abandoned woman." The following year, she was nominated for a British Independent Film Award for Best Actress. A film adaptation of William Shakespeare's tragedy King Lear set to star Knightley and Anthony Hopkins was cancelled due to recession.
Knightley made her West End debut with Martin Crimp's version of Molière's comedy The Misanthrope. Starring Knightley, Damian Lewis, Tara Fitzgerald, and Dominic Rowan, the play was staged at London's Comedy Theatre in December 2009. Knightley decided to act in a theatre production as she felt that if I don't do theatre right now, I think I'm going to start being too terrified to do it. While she described it as an extraordinary and incredibly fulfilling experience, she was skeptical of her performance. Charles Spencer of the Daily Telegraph described her performance as revealing both power and poignancy, and Paul Taylor of The Independent called it not only strikingly convincing, but, at times, rather thrilling in its satiric aplomb. However, The Guardian's Michael Billington noted that due to the nature of the role, one could say that she is not unduly stretched. In recognition of her theatre debut, Knightley was nominated for the Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role and an Evening Standard Award.
Knightley appeared in 3 films in 2010. She said her work during the period helped her empathize with people or with situations that I don't necessarily find it easy to empathize with. 2 of the productions, Massie Tajuddin's romantic drama Last Night and William Monahan's crime noir film London Boulevard, opened to mixed response from critics and rank among the lowest-grossing films in Knightley's career. Knightley's other release, Never Let Me Go, an adaptation of Kazuo Ishiguro's novel of the same name, fared better at the box office and received positive reviews. Knightley described the script as unique, one that made the reader think. Co-starring Andrew Garfield and Carey Mulligan, the film was shot in Norfolk and Clevedon in Somerset. She appeared in a video installation by artist Stuart Pearson Wright titled Maze.
Knightley starred in a 2011 revival of The Children's Hour by Lillian Hellman at the Comedy Theatre in London. Knightley's only film of 2011 was David Cronenberg's historical drama A Dangerous Method, co-starring Viggo Mortensen, Michael Fassbender, and Vincent Cassel. Based on writer Christopher Hampton's 2002 stage play The Talking Cure and set on the eve of World War I, the film depicts the turbulent relationships between fledgling psychiatrist Carl Jung, his mentor Sigmund Freud, and Sabina Spielrein. Knightley portrayed Spielrein, the troubled but beautiful young psychoanalyst who comes between Jung and Freud. The costume film premiered at the 68th Venice International Film Festival to a positive reception, while Knightley earned generally favorable reviews by critics, with Andrew O'Hehir of Salon.com noting her the real star of this film.
Knightley co-starred with Steve Carell in the 2012 comedy drama Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. Later that year, she reunited with director Joe Wright to film their third production together, Anna Karenina, in which she starred as the title character. She deemed her collaboration with Wright as the most important of her career. Knightley garnered positive reviews for her performance, prompting early Oscar buzz. The 2013 Toronto International Film Festival saw the release of Knightley's first musical film Begin Again with Mark Ruffalo. The film, which was directed by John Carney, had its theatrical release in 2014. Carney later repeatedly criticized Knightley's performance in the film, saying she was not convincing enough in portraying a singer-songwriter and continuously describing her as a model rather than an actor. He later apologized to her on Twitter for his comments. Knightley revealed in July that music doesn't sink in for her and she is more interested in books and drama. Later that year, she appeared in Karl Lagerfeld's short-period film Once Upon a Time.
2014, for Knightley, began with the spy thriller Jack Ryan. Shadow Recruit alongside Chris Pine. It was based on novelist Tom Clancy's fictional character Jack Ryan and was the fifth film in the Jack Ryan film series. The film received mixed critical reviews, nonetheless strong box office response. Knightley's next film Laggies premiered at the 2014 Sundance Film Festival prior to its U.S. general release on 24 October. A romantic comedy also starring Chloe Grace Moretz and Sam Rockwell, the film follows the life of Megan, a 28-year-old underachiever going through a quarter-life crisis. Laggies opened to mostly positive reviews from critics, with Knightley's performance being chiefly praised by critics. Inku Kong of Theorap wrote of her delightfully uncouth performance. She's a loose-limbed revelation as a pretty but normal-looking woman who just can't take things seriously enough to pull her life together.
It was followed by her appearance in Morton Tilden's historical drama The Imitation Game, a film based on the British mathematician Alan Turing. Knightley portrayed cryptanalyst and numismatist Joan Clark, who decrypted German intelligence codes for the British government during World War II with Turing. The Imitation Game became a critical and commercial success, grossing over $233.6 million. For her performance, Knightley received her second Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Though Lady Jean Ford, who worked with Clark and Turing at that time, felt Knightley was too beautiful to play Clark and said, "She was nothing like Keira."
Knightley's sole release of 2015 was as part of the ensemble cast in the biographical disaster film Everest. The film was based on the 1996 Mount Everest disaster, with Knightley portraying mountaineer Rob Hull's wife. Everest opened to mixed review from critics. In October 2015, Knightley made her Broadway debut playing the title role in Helen Edmondson's adaptation of Émile Zola's Therese Raquin at Studio 54. Her performance received positive reviews. Alexandra Villarreal of the Huffington Post wrote, "She fumes and rages and withdraws, and you can watch her psychological evolution from stifled wife to impassioned mistress to haunted murderer." Knightley then starred in the ensemble drama Collateral Beauty alongside Will Smith, Edward Norton, Helen Mirren, and Kate Winslet. The film received overwhelmingly negative reviews and earned the cast a Razzie nomination. Despite previously stating on a number of occasions that she would never return to the Pirates of the Caribbean film series, Knightley reprised her role of Elizabeth Swann with a cameo appearance in 2017's Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No Tales.
In 2018, Colette premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. In an interview with Variety to promote the film, Knightley criticized the way female characters are portrayed in films set in the modern day, stating, "I don't really do films set in the modern day because the female characters nearly always get raped. I always find something distasteful in the way women are portrayed, whereas I've always found very inspiring characters offered to me in historical pieces." Knightley was appointed Officer of the Order of the British Empire in the 2018 birthday honors for services to drama and charity. The same year, she played the Sugar Plum Fairy in Disney's adaptation of The Nutcracker, titled The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, directed by Lasse Hallström and Joe Johnston. The film received generally negative reviews.
In 2019, Knightley co-starred in The Aftermath, a film adaptation of the novel by Rydian Brooke, alongside Alexander Skarsgård. While promoting it, Knightley said she chose to no longer appear nude in film after having a child. The film received mixed reviews, and Knightley received a mixed response as well. The Boston Globe's Ty Burr praised Knightley for adding conviction, grace, heart, and nerve to the movie, while the Los Angeles Times' Katie Walsh felt Knightley and Skarsgård were too reserved. Knightley plays Catherine Gunn in Official Secrets, which premiered at the Sundance Film Festival on 28 January 2019 to good reviews. She is set to portray feminist activist Sally Alexander for the film Misbehavior, about the crowning of the first black Miss World contestant at the 1970 Miss World competition. She has also committed to a comedy about an extended family who come together for a Christmas dinner.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.